Will you raise your voice so we like not this to be or come here. Come here.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والصلاة والسلام على أنبياء المرسلين. أما بعد. Chapter 2, page 147. Sharecropping and renting. Renting things and hiring people's services. Ijara. The contracts of renting and hiring continually differ in the lives of people concerning their different interests and their daily, monthly and yearly dealings. Thus it is important to know the rulings pertaining to such dealings for all people's dealings, wherever and whenever they are codified in Sharia in accordance with legal norms, which guard interest and put an end to harm.
طيب بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. We start today inshallah. Our subject is about al-ijara. Al-ijara. Ijara from the verb what? أجر. أجر. استأجر. طيب أجر. استأجر. And the meaning is that to ask somebody to do any service for you and then you pay him for this service. This we call it إجارة لمنفعة. إجارة يعني لمنفعة for service. And also it could be إجارة for place. Like إجارة for apartment. Treasure apartment that you rent an apartment, you rent a house. So either that you are renting place, tools, whatever things that or you are renting the time and the experience of other person in doing something for you. Clear? So this al-ijara, as we know, this is one of the contracts that involve more than one part. More than one part. The one who asks for the service and he pays for this. And the one who is providing this service. Right? As we said, like the relation between the inhabitants and the land owner, right? You have a building and then you rent it for somebody to live. So this is the general concept of an ijara or istijara. So this chapter is speaking about what? The rules that concern with this kind of dealing. Clear? And as we said before, it is very important for the Muslim to understand anything related to his life. And since, as you know, all of us are involved in this process, right? You are either renter or renting. You are either that you rent service or you offer service to others. And this is why it's very important for both sides to know the rights and obligations. Ijara means renting something or hiring someone. Renting something from the side who wants the service. Right? Like rent, when you rent a house, rent a car, rent a service of something. Somebody, for example, fix your car, fix something at home, or hiring someone's services. As you said, you are hiring somebody to provide service for you. In exchange for what? For payment for this kind of service. So this is the meaning of the ijara. The ijara, as we mentioned, it was mentioned in the Quran and mentioned in the Sunnah. And from this word comes the word ajr. Ajr. Right? You get ajr for what you do. Huh? Reward. Okay? For something that you do some service and you get something. But here when we talk about the ajr for this, it's not even if took in general that you are taking something and exchanging something else. But in fact, this is from the blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because no one will get to paradise just because of his what? Of his work or his deed. Right? But if you do good, you will get what? Good. So you are taking the means. Right? And this mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah. In the Quran mentioned in Surah Allahu A'lam al-Qasas Al-Kahf, na'am. If you wish, you could have taken for a payment. This is your story of the Musa alayhi salam with Al-Khidr. لو شئت لاتخذت عليه أجرا. When Al-Khidr, he fixed the wall, they came to a town, a village, and they asked for food. The people of this town, they didn't provide them with any help. They were not generous, okay? So they didn't give them what they want. And they didn't provide food or hospitality or... So when Al-Khidr, he found this wall almost fell down, he rebuilt it again. So Musa alayhi salam, he said, well, if you want, then you can take ajra. That means good payment for what you did. So this is one dalil. The other dalil, in Surah Al-Talaq also, Allah mentioned for ladies who were divorced. في سورة البقرة والوالدات يرضعن أولادهن حولين كاملين لمن أراد أن يتم الرضاعة وعلى المولود له رزقهن وكسوتهن بالمعروف. The rule for the divorced woman, okay, that she can take care of the baby. It's her baby, right? But for nursing this baby, she should get paid from the father. Okay? Why? Because the nafaqa on the father for the child. Right? And nafaqa on the father. Now she is divorced, like any other woman. So he may say, okay, continue, feed the baby, nursing him, and he will pay for her. Allah Azza wa Jalla, وَإِن تَعَاشَرْتُمْ فَسَتُرْضِعُ لَهُ أُخْرَى. If you didn't reach an agreement between the father and the divorced mother, فَسَتُرْضِعُ لَهُ أُخْرَى. That means the father will hire other woman, to take care of the child. This will show you that it is the responsibility of man for what? Take care of the expenses of the family. Right? So this is ajr. Right? In exchange for what? For service. Taking care of the child. Right.
According to Muslim jurists, ijara is defined as follows: a lease for a lawful identified use of either an identified present or described anticipated thing for a specified purpose and for a known period of time, or a hiring agreement for the performance of a certain service in return for a specified compensation.
Right. Now let's look at this definition. It's very important to know the meaning of the definition. Okay? And you know this meaning in detail. Because every word it has meaning here. It's not just, to put statement. No, but there's meaning for every word. He said, Tijara is defined, this is the definition. Lease for lawful. Look, is in the first sentence what? Lawful service. That means if the service was not haram, was haram, or unlawful, then ijara is not lawful. Okay? So be careful about the definition. Lawful. And just to show you that it's forbidden, for example, to give service for somebody who uses it in a way that contradicts with the Sharia. Like for example, you have a place, you have apartment or shop, and you know that somebody wants to hire this shop, and to rent this shop, to sell alcohol, right? Or turn it to place for gambling, or to have disco, club, okay, or bar. Then we say this is not lawful. Tijara is not lawful. Clear? So this is the first point here. Lawful. Right. Lawful identified. What does it mean identified? Known. Now that means when you rent, you know what you are renting. Maybe it's lawful. He said, Sheikh Yahya came to Ibrahim and he said, I want to rent your apartment. And Ibrahim has 3 or 4 apartments. He didn't identify it. Then it's not correct here. So it should be what? Identify that certain place or certain service. Clear in the contract. Identifies use of either identified present or describe anticipating things. Describe, like for example something you ask for a car, like when you call the car rental, okay, you said I want a car. You have many cars. How can I identify it? You cannot identify it by saying car number so and so, but you can what? And describe it in general. You said, I want full-size car. This made, this year. So you are identified with what? With description. It's not specific. That means when you go there, you get any car that meets this description. Maybe there are 3, 4, 5 cars. Right? But you already identified by description. Clear? This is the meaning here. He said, for specific purpose. Also the purpose of this service should be specified. And we said, you are taking this house for what? To stay, to live, or to turn it to a workshop, or what? Right? You are this service for what? Should be very clear. Right? And for a known period of time. Also, there is another condition here. Another limitation. That means you should specify the time of this service. I rent this house for 1 year. I rent this place for 6 months. I work, for example, in your car for 3 days or 1 day. I use this car for 5 days. Right? You come to my farm to work in my farm for 1 week.
Now, you go to a mechanic saying that you repair this car.
Yes.
He says that I will repair it in a couple of days.
Yes.
Ask for 2 days to repair it. But it doesn't happen in 2 days. It takes 4 days.
See, this is different here, what's coming. Here you are not working, about renting the time. It's not limited by the time. Here the limit by fixing the problem. So no matter how long it takes, okay, he maybe give you approximately.
Yes.
It's different from renting a house, okay, or hiring somebody to work.
The time is there.
See? Yeah. Here, different from hiring somebody to work in the company, right? Work for 3 months, 6 months, right? But here you are talking about fixing or like building house. You're hiring somebody, they will say, you want باليومية, okay? As they say. عليكم السلام. Either by the production or the time. You identify it, right? For example, you come to the company and you work for a certain time. Like for example, you want to build a house. Contractor, they are working two ways. They said he will pay us by day, okay, no matter how long it takes, or will pay it as contract. When this building finish, you pay us this amount. So either one is okay. Can we finish let us finish the definition first, okay? Right. Or a hiring agreement, this is the point that explains this point, right? For the performance of certain service in return for a specific compensation. That means in return for your service or for the place that you rent, you got what? Something equal, money, payment. Yeah, this is the point. This is the definition of the إجارة. نعم يا شيخ.
Now we have their customs share, right? They will celebrate their festivals. They may have the customs of drinking. You make sure if it is a married couple, certain things you can make sure, right? Now, can you?
Yeah, you are renting for living, right?
Yes.
And they live inside. You are not questioning what they are doing, right? Because even for Muslim, maybe you rented for Muslim, and you don't know what he's doing like Muslim.
You have to make sure
Right?
they are married.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. If you know that for them, like you, young people, they are not married, and you know that they will take this place to get women, for sure you will not. And if you discover, you ask them to leave. Okay? But we're not responsible for what, as long as in the contract, that contract is clear, and this considered as violation. Okay? If they violate, for example, if somebody, rents the place, the building, and he said, I want, to use this to live. And then you discover that he turned it to workshop. You have the right to cancel.
My question is, like, we don't have, I understood what you meant. Suppose, even I rent my house. I make sure that this guy is, all good, but, as the living custom, they're not, they will live, but, they drink. They drink among themselves, within their family. Not that they are making the vow.
I know. I understand.
You're saying no.
They use it for living. They didn't use it for drinking.
Yeah.
This is part of their life. You are not what their life.
Okay.
No. Okay? No problem, inshallah. Nah.
The aforementioned general definition comprises most of the validity conditions for ijara as well as its type.
Right. So here we included in the definition is what? The condition. As you notice that. Should be identified for certain period. It should be lawful. Huh? Yeah. Nah.
The phrase, a lease for use, implies that the hiring of slave is not included in ijara, for it is rather selling than hiring or renting in this case.
Yeah, so this is different.
The word
Difference between, anyway, this is not applicable here. We will talk about the time of slavery. at that time, as you know, there were slaves, okay, and they still them, okay. There is a difference between when you take slave, it's not ijara, because when you own it, so anything that you own it, it's not ijara, right? Difference between buying and ijara, what is it? Like the car, when you go to take a car from rental car, you are renting, this is ijara.
Yeah.
But when you take the same car from the company you are selling the car, you are buying. So what is the difference between the ijara? He tried here to explain to you the difference between ijara and bay. What is the difference between the ijara and bay? The ijara or the renting, that you are benefit from the service only. But the bay, you are own. You own whatever you pay for. Right? You own the car. Not just take it to be used or to serve you for certain period. Like the rental car. Clear? Now.
The word lawful excludes all kinds of renting or hiring for unlawful use, like adultery, for example.
As we explained, somebody, okay, rent shop to sell something which is forbidden. And this is why some ulama say it is not lawful to rent any grocery or shop they are selling smoke, dukhan, cigarettes. Yes, they said it is not lawful. If you know that this shop they will sell cigarettes, then you should not, you should not give them your, you tell them that this is haram and you should not sell cigarettes. If you sell, then we cancel our contract. This is the way it should be. Unfortunately, some people for cigarette, they say it's not haram, approved, and try to play around, while it is clearly very, it's very clear haram. Anyway, but it's not like somebody who is selling alcohol, it is very clear. Okay? Now,
The phrase, a lawful identified use of an identified or described and paid thing or hiring agreement for the performance of a certain service indicates that ijara is of two types. Firstly, ijara can be for the use of an identified present or described and paid thing.
what's the difference? I explained this to you. What's the difference between identify and describe? The same example I gave you for the car. Right?
You missed one point, the previous point.
The phrase identified use excludes any unknown benefit or use through ijara, in which case the lease becomes invalid.
Yeah, I will explain. Yeah, somebody here in the house, but you don't know what for. Here I want to display. What for? No, it should be very clear from the beginning. You hire a person. He said, I want you to work with me for 5 days. For example, you come, I hire you, do service for you. What kind of service? Well, it's not your business. Just come and I will know. He said, no, should we identify what kind of service? Now,
Firstly, ijara can be for the use of an identified present or described anticipated thing. An example of renting an identified thing is when a landlord says, I rent you this house. While an example of renting a described thing is when an owner of a pack animal who rents it says, I rent you a pack animal of such and such description for transporting or riding.
and this is the example of the car. As I said, I rent you a car full size, okay, this year, something like it. Okay, but we're talking about animals because of their sign, their what? It's the way that they use, okay? They don't rent cars, they rent camels. Right? Now,
Second type of ijara is, secondly, ijara can also be hiring someone for performing a specific service. Like, for example, someone who hires another to drive him to such and such a place, or to build him a wall or the like.
like the taxi. When you take taxi, this is, they call it ujra. Sayarat ujra. Why? Because when you, stop the taxi, he takes it from one place to another, and you agree on certain price, amount. Okay, 15 riyals, 20 riyals. Okay, and this is very important, brothers. It's not right to we tell you, okay, come and we, no problem, whatever you give me. That's not right. Should be clear from the beginning. Okay, because this is sometimes this will be the source for fighting at the end. He said, okay, you asked me, said, okay, I will take you for whatever amount, but when you reach there, he said, no, I expect you to give me 50 riyals. See, you look gentleman, you look businessman, so I didn't say 20 riyals. I say, why? Just leave it. This man, maybe he's generous. But some people, even they are millionaire, they didn't become millionaire except because they are tight with money. They couldn't get money. So he will give you the rest. So to, block all ways for dispute, it should be very clear in the beginning. Now, right.
The phrase for a known period of time means that the rent period should be specified, a day or a month, etc.
No.
The phrase for specified compensation indicates the necessity of specifying the payment for renting something or hiring someone. Thus, all the validity conditions of the two types of ijara can be summarized in the following. 1. The lease has to be related to the use of the object, not the object itself.
Use, not use of the object, not the object itself. That means the lease is not in the car that you are renting, but for what? For the use of this car. How many days? That means you pay for every day amount of money for now.
2. This use of the object should be lawful.
Now, that is clear. Now,
3. The purpose of renting should be known.
it's clear. Well, what's the purpose now?
4. If the rent object is not identified, it should agree with the description of its owner.
Now, say.
5. The rent period should be specified.
The time here,
Rent period should be specified.
the time here, for example, you said 20,000 riyal a year. Okay? For a month. You hire somebody to work, I pay you, sometimes some area they pay for the hour. Like in the West, for example, they pay you by hour, right? In other places, they by week. Other place, maybe other agreement by piece. Piece. Production. Piece. Okay? Like when you, nah.
Lastly, the rental payment should be specified.
Nah.
The valid ijara is permissible according to the Quran, the Sunnah, and juristic consensus. Allah Azza wa Jalla says in Surah Al-Talaq, which translates, and if they breastfeed for you, then give them their payment.
Yeah. Look at فإن أرضعن لكم. Here that doesn't mean for you. That means for the. That means for the child, because the child belongs to his father. Okay. Be careful about this. The problem of translation is not like the Quran is very clear. But here, some people they may misunderstand this. They said, and if they breastfeed for you, what does it mean? Okay? Because they translated فَإِنْ أَرْضَعْنَ لَكُمْ. Not أَرْضَعْنَكُمْ. There's difference.
Yes.
Okay? Because when we say breastfeed you, that means for you. And this is impossible, But breathe for you, that means for you, your child or your baby. Okay?
For you, it's okay.
Huh?
For you, it's not to you.
I know, yeah, this is why I said it, be careful. Okay? Because maybe some people they misunderstand, they don't look, especially if they are not familiar. Okay, they will, they get confused. Right? Then give them their payment. فَآتُوهُنَّ أجورهن. And this, as we said, it emphasizes the fact or the rule that the father is the one who is responsible for the well-being and for his children and the mother. Right? Now.
Allah also says, this translates in Surah Al-Kahf, Moses says, if you wish, you could have taken for it a payment.
And this, as we said, is called the father who built the wall, rebuilt the wall again. Musa alayhi salam said, لو شئت لاتخذت عليه أجرا.
The Prophet ﷺ also hired a man to show him the way during his immigration from Makkah to Medina.
Now, after the Shaykh explain or provide the dalil from the Quran, okay, through these two verses, he also provide dalil from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the dalil from the Sunnah, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he want to migrate from Makkah to Medina, he and Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, they hire one man called Abdullah ibn Urayqa. This man was expert in ways or roads. Right? He knows different routes to get to Medina. Right? So they hire him. Now this is from the Sunnah, the Dalil. And as you know, the Dalil of the Sunnah either by what? By saying statements of Prophet ﷺ or by action or by approval or disapproval. All these are sources of Sunnah. The Prophet ﷺ, he did this action. And he did this in different also places. He hired different. But this is very, very, very clear. Now,
Ibn Munzir started that stated that jurists unanimously agree on the permissibility of ijara, renting someone something or hiring someone's service.
right. Ibn al-Munzir, whenever they mention Ibn al-Munzir, always, because Ibn al-Munzir, he was concerned to write about al-ijma'. Ibn al-Munzir, he wrote about al-ijma'. So always the ulama, whenever they said anything, they said Ibn al-Munzir said this. And this you can find it here. The al-ijma'. His book called al-ijma'. Okay, this is the book, page 60. He mentioned about this. It is, ijma', that means, so he collects in his book, his book called al-ijma'. And in this book, he called all all matters that the ulama mostly agree upon. Right? Now,
Moreover, ijara is a human necessity as there is no need for the benefits of,
as there is
need for the benefits of rent as much as there is need for the object of rent.
طيب هو first of all you see the Shaykh what he did, giving the dalil from the Quran, supported by the dalil of the Sunnah, supported by the dalil of the Ijma', and then he also tell you that this is something rational. Right? This is the rational and the need, the necessity of a human life, that this kind of agreement or this kind, okay, this ruling, it's needed for service. Now,
It is permissible to hire a person for a certain job, such as for tailoring a garment, building a wall, or for guiding one through one's ways. It is stated in Sahih al-Bukhari that Aisha, the Prophet's wife, may Allah be pleased with her, narrated in the hadith of the Prophet's hijrah, that the Prophet ﷺ and Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, employed Abdullah ibn Urayqat al-Laythi as a guide. He was an expert guide.
this is at the time of Hijrah from Makkah to Medina. Now,
It is impermissible to rent houses, shops, and stores for committing sins, such as selling intoxicants or forbidden things like tobacco or making pictures. as renting here is considered an assistance in committing sin.
Yeah, because Allah Azza wa Jalla said what? وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. This is the general guideline. Always. Anything, any cooperation on something which is haram, consider تعاون على الإثم والعدوان. Consider as cooperation and sinful right action which is forbidden. And we should cooperate always in the good thing. Like for example, if you find place or house that was used to place for adultery, and the owner he doesn't know, okay, the owner he doesn't know, you are building for somebody who living in some, and he rents it for a person, and he's far away, and the neighborhood noticed that this building or this apartment was used by those who rented, for something which is forbidden. Then as neighborhood, here you should inform the landlord, telling him, look, these people are using this in a wrong way, sinful way. And then he should take care of it. Now,
It is permissible for a tenant to rent what he has rented to someone else to make use of. For the tenant is considered a temporary owner of what he rents.
yeah, you rent the house and you want to rent part of it. It's okay. Unless the landlord put condition. Okay? That he should not, or you have no right by it to rent to anybody else. Either use it or leave it. Be careful about it. It's not open. Right? And this is what we had these days now. Many people, what they do, they rent an apartment, and then within the apartment, they rented every room to different people. I noticed this. Okay? Now? Well, as long, no, it's okay. As long as it was not mentioned in the contract. Generally you are allowed. But if in the contract they said you are not allowed to rent it, then you should not do it. And then the landlord has the right to cancel the contract because you violate the condition. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, المسلمون عند شروطهم. المسلمون عند شروط. Right? As long as this short condition is not haram, then it's okay. Right? Now.
Thus, it is permissible for him to use it or let someone else use it instead. Still, the second tenant must use the rented object in the same way of the first, or in a better way. For example, a tenant of a house can rent it to another tenant, provided the latter uses it for living therein, or for a less damaging use. However, it is impermissible for him to rent the place for someone who will use it as a factory or a laboratory.
The conditions that apply for the first one, the tenant, okay, will be applied for anybody else.
Yes.
Right? Now.
It is impermissible to hire someone to perform acts of worship or piety that bring one. It is impermissible to hire someone to perform acts of worship or piety that bring one near to Allah, such as performing acts on one's behalf or announcing the prayer call.
Now we move now from services. So some people will come and they say, okay, since it's service, there's another thing that we can do. For example, doing service, like, for adhan, for imam. This is service. Okay? Can we rent somebody to be imam? Can we rent somebody to be muazzin? Can we hire somebody to be a Quran teacher? Huh? No, it's not right according to the Sheikh say. Okay, so, but we give them money, nobody will come. We said, yes, we gave them, but the money that we gave them, it's not for, same like hiring somebody. This is something that we said like mukafa'a, okay, like a reward, like something to help them in their life. You got it? And this is regarding teaching for many long time, the ulama or the ummah at the beginning, and the third generation, they don't see that teachers should take any money for their teaching. Salary. And it happened when they started the regular school in Baghdad, they call it al-Madaris al-Nizamiyya, okay, because it was after the name of the minister at that time, or prime minister, they call him Nizam. So these schools, when they started, they hired teachers. So the people of Baghdad, what they did, they had demonstration. And this is something interesting, that they have. It's not like this today, demonstrating, because it's not Islamic anyway, Islamic practice. But what they did, they took folks' coffin, okay, like janaza, and they hold it, and they wrote on this janaza al-ilm, the knowledge. Okay? And they go around, they took it to the cemetery, to the graveyard. It's just simple that ilm is what? Is dying. Why? Because teachers are taking money. Okay? So, the beginning, they don't believe that teachers should be paid for their service, because it's very high. So, the ulama said, it's not in fact salary for this, because there's the value of ilm. You cannot evaluate the ilm. There is no value. Somebody will teach you the Quran. So they said, no, this is not salary for the service, but it's to help this person, okay, to sustain him, so he will not, if we didn't give him, then he will go to work some other place, other job to get money, income, support his family. We said, okay, we will provide you with whatever you need for your family needs, but instead don't go to any work, don't do anything else, just come here and teach, or make adhan, or make imama, or something like that. And this is why it's not considered as salary. And this is here, for example, you notice, it's not, it's illegal for any person to have two jobs, right? But here we see what the imams, most of the imams in the masjid, they have official jobs. And at the same time they are imams and they get payment monthly from the Ministry of Islamic Affairs. It's okay, as you say, because it's not considered as salary. Not considered as salary. It's coming anyway now. For Hajj, ibadat, you cannot hire somebody to pray for you, I mean in your behalf. Right? You cannot hire somebody to fast. Right? It's not hiring. Here the Hajj, even this, you are not giving him as hiring. Yeah. As if you're providing for what he is, same like other services. Okay? It's not like, no.
This is because such deeds are individually performed to draw one closer to Allah.
No.
And receiving wages for them makes them far away from being acts of worship.
No.
However, it is permissible to receive financial support from the Muslims public treasury for acts of transcending benefits, such as performing Hajj, announcing prayer calls, leading people in prayer, teaching the Quran, and still judging and delivering fatwa.
You got this? So here it's just a matter of what? Financial support. Okay? It's not as exchange for their service. No.
Receiving payment in such cases is not a kind of compensation, but rather a help to perform acts of obedience. This does not void such pious and righteous acts, nor does it affect the sincerity of their performance. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, may Allah have mercy on him, said, Fuqahas unanimously agree on the difference between hiring to performing various acts of worship and granting financial support for their performance. Giving provision to fighters, judges, prayer callers, and imams is indisputably permissible. As for hiring someone to perform such acts of worship on one's behalf, it is impermissible according to most of them. Ibn Taymiyyah also said, in such cases, whatever is taken from the Muslim's public treasury is not a kind of compensation or wages, but it is a provision for helping in performing such acts of obedience. Whoever uses such a financial support for working such acts for the sake of Allah will be rewarded. And what he is granted by the Muslim's public treasury will be regarded as an aid in performing such acts of worship.
I think this is clear. This comment by Shaykh Ibn Taymiyyah and his student Ibn Qayyim. Now,
the duties of a leader and a levy. A leader has to do whatever can help the levy to benefit from the object of rent, such as fixing the rented car and preparing it for working and free, and reconstructing the rented house and fixing whatever is damaged therein and preparing its utilities for use.
yeah, the apartment is yours, right? It's not the responsibility of the tenant to fix it, unless he is the one who did the damage. Got it? Okay? This is like, for example, there in pipe system, there is problem. Sometimes it happens in electricity. It's the responsibility of the owner to fix it.
Not for gold building.
Nah? Yes. It's his responsibility, unless you are, okay, the cause, that you made the cause for this damage. Then, because you fix what you damage. Nah?
If you put a 30 here, suppose this house is worth, say, for a month, 50,000 rupees, you know.
Okay.
We give it at 35,000. We take agreement with the tenant. That he will maintain the house.
Okay. This is condition. As we said, if there is condition, okay, what's the meaning of condition? The meaning of condition, both parties, both sides. The condition is one of the two parties waive his rights. Okay? With the agreement. It's okay, but should be mentioned in the contract. Okay, like for example, he said, okay, you can rent this house for 20,000 riyal. Okay? And whatever problems happen in the house is my responsibility as owner. Or I will make it easier for you. You pay only 15,000. But during this period, anything coming in the apartment, it's your responsibility to fix it. Okay, if we don't agree in this condition, it's okay. المسلمون عند شروط. نعم. Okay.
When the period of rent is over, a lessee has to fix whatever damages he has caused.
Got it here? Because you caused this, then you fix it.
Renting ijara is a binding contract for the two parties, the lessor and the lessee. For it is regarded as a kind of sale, so the judgment of sale applies to it. A leaser or a lessee cannot cancel the lease except with the consent of the other.
It's not right for somebody, for example, rent you the house for a year, to come after 6 months and say, oh, well, I changed my mind, give me my house back. That's not right. He has no right to do this. If you go to the court, they will force him to wait till the end of the period. And this is why, these people who are renting houses, maybe this office, what they do, they say this rent for 1 year, and then it should be renewed by the AMS Council. That means if they said after this year, one of the two parties want to cancel it, they can. Now,
But if a certain defect appears about which the lessee has not been informed before signing the contract, he has the right to cancel it.
yeah, you rent the house, and they say this house is okay, and after you rent, and you pay the rent, and you move, you discover that there is no electricity. No electricity. How can you benefit from this? Then you go back and cancel, you have the right. Why? Because you have benefit. You rent a car, okay, and after you took the car, you discover that it's broken. There is no way to benefit. So you pay over. They say, no, you rented for a week, then you have to stay for a week. No. Then you have the right. Why? Because you didn't get the benefit for the purpose of this contract is what? To get service. And you didn't get the service. In this case, you can cancel this contract. Now,
The leaser is obliged to hand over the object of rent to the lessee and to enable him to utilize it. If the leaser rents something and then prevents the lessee from using it during all or some of the period of rent, he has no right to receive all or some of the rental, for he has not handed the lessee what the lease has stated.
a person here rents a car. And then you discover deficit in the car. You rent it for 1 month. And the company takes this car and fixes it, and every time says, where's my car? I said, okay, just wait, you are fixing the car. For 2, 3, 4, 5 days, for example, this time, that you didn't benefit from the car, you have the right, and you have to pay for it? No. You don't have to. Yeah, they should take care of this. Okay? So they should not charge you for the time that you didn't benefit from the service. Right? A person rent your house, and you say that you start your rent from the beginning of the month. And you want to move. But then he said, there's some construction going on. And they didn't finish it till after 1 week or 2. Also, you don't pay for this period because you didn't get benefit from this time. Now,
If the leaser enables the lessee to utilize the object of rent, but did not take the rent during all or some of the period of lease, full rent is due upon the lessee. This is because the lease is a binding one. Thus, what is stated therein should be carried out. Rental is the right of the leaser, while utilization is the right of the lessee.
where are we? Plus? Benefit.
Two cases.
2 cases? Okay, we leave these 2 cases for next week. Right?
So, Sheikh,